Hello and welcome to Nightshark, and today I'll be showing you how you can use Nightshark to test and validate your trade ideas. So to begin with, there's going to be three parts to it. So the first part going to be signal creation, second part going to be setting up Nightshark, and the third part is actually writing the script for the Nightshark. So for the most of these parts, we're going to be using AI tools to write our signals and the script. So even if you don't have any background in programming, it can still help you get started automating your trade with the Nightshark. So let's get started. So to start off with, the first part would be actually signal creation. So it consists of two visual indicator. The first thing is going to be the arrows, which essentially tells us like we went past, like we want to see like how it's performing, what it's going to actually buy or sell. And the second part is the label, which is going to be the important parameter for the Nightshark to read in and then identify uh, when those like signals were actually generated. Okay, so besides that, for today, what we're going to do is write our signal based on this logic, which is going to be a candlestick pattern. And this is mostly based on the morning star. So if you don't know about morning star pattern, it's basically a candlestick, a red candlestick followed by the small green candle, and that which is again followed by the long body green candle. So the basically hypothesis behind it is, so in a red candle, the sellers are actually dominant on it, and which is actually in turn pushing down the prices. But when we see a small green candle, which means like now the buyers are coming in, but we're still not sure how dominant that they're going to be. So that's when we get the actual confirmation on the taller green candle. Now we can see, like the buyers are more into the dominant space, so which actually going to push up the prices moving forward. So that's just the hypothesis based on it, and this would be a great opportunity to like place a buy order. So in terms of that, we're going to be actually creating this signal on the ThinkOrSwim platform using the ChatGPT. So I'm going to open the ChatGPT and I'm going to write uh, so I've So I think in order to try type this prompt, I think there's going to be one more thing. So in ThinkOrSwim, right? So these arrows are going to be the plot, and this thing, the label that I mentioned earlier, it's actually called label. So this actually gets this actually uses the add label feature, like the function in the think script, and this is the a plot arrow up or something like that. So it's going to be really helpful for the GPT to understand it better. But yeah, I mean, like this is the script that I write for it. Write me a think script that identifies Morningstar pattern and also plot arrows on charts and add label signal by, which is going to be so plotting the arrow and adding the label when the Morningstar gets formed. All right, so I'm going to copy this code. And to add your, like, create your own signal, what we're going to do is we can go, by the way, I'm in the ThinkOrSwim trade, and then under the trade tab, I'm under the active trader tab. So what we're going to do here is going to create a new, I'm going to name it Morningstar pattern. And I'm gonna add this script so we don't see any errors. If you do find any errors on your own logic, you can actually like paste those errors and give it back to ChatGPT. It's gonna produce a new code without those errors. So yeah. So I've added this onto the price part. Hit apply. So boom. Here are the plots where Nightshark actually going to place the order. So if you see here, a big candle formed by, like, followed by a small candle and then another big candle. Um, we do see a lot of noise, but I think we can also like write our like Nightshark script to actually like which gonna ignores these sort of stuff. And I think another logic that we're going to implement is like, so these are only the buy signals, right? So when are we going to exit the strategy? So obviously these are not always going to be 100% accurate. So but these do have like a higher tendency to go up after that, like after these signals. So what we're going to do is after we enter the trade, if there's a $20 profit, we're gonna like close the position, and after if it incurs like more than $10 loss, then it's most likely to be false signal, so we're gonna cut off our losses at those points. So that's gonna be our exit strategy, and these signals are going to be our entry strategy. So in the next part, we're gonna go over the like how we can actually like set up the Nightshark, and then after that we're gonna go over the writing the script for it. So yeah. So before we set up Nightshark, there are a few key things that we need to understand. So I'm gonna open this Nightshark UI. So this is what's the Nightshark gonna look like. So the top part is for the areas, and then this section would be for the points, and this is a section where we actually gonna load our the script, the automating script that we gonna use, which we're gonna write down in the later part of this video. So in terms of the area, when we click on the read areas, it actually essentially gives us a clipping tool. So you can draw this area around like PNL or PNL for the day, or you can even add this around the signals. So what this essentially does is, so these are these things like coordinates in our screen that we are defining where we want to read certain metrics, and points are essentially just the coordinates where we want to click on. And so here you can see that I've set the point.a into the buy. So point.day would be the unique identifier for the buy. So understanding this unique identifier is really going to be important for us later down the road. And on the next part, I'm going to switch over to a whiteboard session where I am actually going to discuss about how you can set up Nightshark in this scenario. All right, so to go back to our original logic would be once we see a morning star formation, we want to place in buy order, and then after that, if we see a like let's say $20 profit, we want to capture it and then close the position, and then start looking for next morning star pattern, right? Or in the meantime, if it went other way, like let's say $10 like loss, we want to cut it off at that point because that morning star did not really work out that well. So that's why we also want to place in sell order in that same time, like when we see a $10 loss. So we want to do this again and again, and so here, so for that purpose, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up our but the signals as an area 1, and our PNL open is going to be area 2. So PNL open and PNL day. So PNL open is the profit and loss for the current position that you are doing, like that is like currently open, and the PNL day is just like the overall profit and loss that we have for the day. And so essentially the logic gonna follow is wait until this area 1 starts turning to buy. When we see a buy, we're gonna go place in buy, click on this buy order, and then we're gonna start reading the PNL open. And when we continuously read this, and when we if it goes above $20, we want to go ahead and place in sell order. Or if like if it's greater than 20 or less than -10, we also want to do this. But and also after this, we want to start sorry, looking for it again and do this over and over again. And I think one more key part would be, so if, let's say we want to minimize the maximum loss for the day, right? Because we can't keep Nightshark running for all the time. So let's set up a target. So for that purpose, that's why we introduced the area 3. So after each sell position, instead of going here, what we're gonna do is um, come back here, area 3, check on this box. If this is greater than, let's say our profit target for a day would be like a $60, and if our loss target for the day is $30, so check for this. If this is greater than 60, stop the Nightshark and stop placing orders. But if it's less than also like -30, we also want to stop it. So if this is not, if it is between those range, you can go back and do this again and again. So this is the actual like logic that we're gonna implement. So if you don't, I know it's kind of probably might be confusing. You can go back and check, but yeah, that's how the logic's gonna follow. Yeah, that's about it. All right, so in next part, what we're gonna do is, since we're drawing areas over here and then these numbers, so what we're gonna do next is that we want to free up some spaces in here. So primarily, I'm looking at this part and the none part. So what I'm gonna do next would be go into the studies and edit sources, and I want to make some spaces before and after the buy and none part. So you can definitely, if you don't understand this code, you can always just look for a buy and none, and usually they would be in part with the add level part. And after that we can do this. So when you're drawing area, it's actually gonna, like we can have some more spaces so that Nightshark can read it correctly. And besides that, this part might not gonna look same. What I suggest for that would be for you guys to, you can always go into the settings and then like remove all these items, anything that you have. I think it primarily still wants one of these to be here, so you can just put percentage change in there, and after that you can just drag in and make these two are the primary area that you want to read. And also if you are also like using this Nightshark on the smaller screen, what you can do is actually you can go to the application setup, application setting, and then we can go over the looks and feel, and you can always change this fonts to extra large or very large in case you encounter Nightshark not reading those numbers correctly. And I think that would be it. So I think we're ready for the setting it up. So to start off with, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the Nightshark directory, and just create a reaction folder. This is where we are actually going to write our script. So I'm just gonna copy one of these files and paste it, and I'm gonna rename it Morningstar. So after that, what we're gonna do next would be go into the Nightshark, load our Morningstar that we just recently created, and I'm gonna delete this file because I copied the default one, so it was saving all those areas and points in there, so that's why. So you can always remove this area with the delete function, or you can actually like edit it. And then let's just create our area. So our area one's going to be the none. I can make it a little bit bigger. And then our areas 2 gonna be the P&L, and our area 3 is going to be P&L day. And in terms of points, it's just going to be the buy and sell. So the point at A going to be in the buy, and then point at B is going to be on the sell. Let's just quickly check our area. So area 1 is on the signal, area 2 is going to be a P&L open, and area 3 is going to be P&L for the day. And let's quickly check our area. So what we're essentially doing here is by loading the script file in here, like as you are drawing the area, you are actually like writing these areas and coordinates into the file. So it's gonna make it a lot easier so that you don't have to like reset it over and over again. So make sure when you're drawing the area, make sure you have your file loaded in, so you can, you know, re like you can fetch it later on just by that, whatever. So I think we're set for this part, and then onto the next part. What we're going to do is we're actually going to write the script, which will be with the help of our other application named Reaction Code Writer. And what we're going to do is we're just going to open the Morningstar, and this is where we're actually going to write the script. So for that we're going to use a different AI tool, which is our own fine-tuned model, and we'll do that in the next section. So now we're done with the setting up the area. So what we're going to do is we're going to revisit our original logic. So I have created a small brief diagram about what our logic is going to be. So what it's going to do is it's going to start off reading the areas until that signal turns into the by, the signal. And if you remember correctly, this is going to be our area 1. And then what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and click on the by button, which is going to be the point A. So whenever you search by, that literally tells it, like the Morningstar setup is there. And then it's going to go and ahead and open the position. And then what it's going to do is it's going to read the areas, until the area 1 becomes greater than 20 or less than -10. And then after that, when one of these conditions satisfies, it's going to go ahead and click on the point B. And then after closing this position, it's going to check on the P&L for the day, which is going to be our area 3. If it's greater than 60 or less than -30, it's actually going to stop the script, and that's it. That's going to be the maximum profit that we want to capture, or a maximum drawdown where we want to cut off for the day. And if it's not satisfying this condition, what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and then look for another Morningstar setup and continuously go over and over again. So in order to write the script for the Nightshark to perform these actions, what we're going to do is we have to visit the Nightshark website. Once you log into your account, you'll come to this dashboard, and once you go here in the chat with AI tab, this is essentially where we are going to write our prompt, and then it's going to generate the script for us. So based on the logic that we created, so this is what our prompt going to look like. So you have to explicitly mention the points and the areas. So that's why it is really important when you are writing the prompt in there. So basically, it's going to be write me a script that reads the area until area 1 says buy. So we are waiting until this converts into buy. Then it's going to go ahead and click point A, and then after that, it starts reading the area 2, which is going to be the current P&L for the position that is opened. After that, it's going to wait until when it becomes greater than 20 or less than 10. And after that, what's going to happen is it's going to click on the point B, because we have one of these conditions as satisfied. So either it's going to take the $20 profit or cut off the losses at $10. And after that, after clicking on the point B, the position closes. What it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and check on the P&L for the day. If it's greater than 60 or less than 40, what it's essentially going to do is it's going to stop the script. The Nightshark's going to stop performing it, and then otherwise it's going to go again and then look for another buy signal, which is essentially waiting for another Morningstar symbol. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to copy this prompt, and then I'm going to go over here and then paste it in the AI tool, and let's wait until it generates the script. So this is looking good. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna copy within these three brackets. We're gonna copy from here to here, and then what we're gonna do next would be go into our Nightshark directory, and there's this app called Reaction Code Writer. This is where we are actually going to overwrite the script. And then, if you remember correctly, we created this Morningstar file, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna replace this code with this. So don't worry about this formatting. It just shows up for now, but later on when you revisit it, it's gonna be all formatted. I'm gonna show you that later. But after writing, like pasting our code in here, we can just write the code into reaction file and then close it. If you want to check in the Morningstar, it's actually going to be well formatted, unlike before. So no need to worry about on that part. So now that we have the Nightshark script ready, the next thing what we can do would be log into a Nightshark. So here I have the Nightshark ready, and in the next step, what we're going to do is we're going to load in our script. So let's just quickly check in our area. So area 1 would be on the signal, area 2 is on the PNL, area 3 is on the PNL day, point A would be on the buy, and point B would be on the sell. And then one more quick thing. So in this area, let's say in this point, right? What we want to check would be here. So you see these two signals really closely, and you're probably thinking, okay, so if the condition doesn't satisfy these two signals, the Nightshark probably going to go ahead and buy another part, and which we really don't want, because we don't want to double down on our position size. So the way that Nightshark actually works is, if you go over to these flowchart diagram that we did before. So after reading the area, so after it gets the buy signal and clicks the point signal, all it cares about is whether or not the area 1 will actually going to be above 20 or less than -10. So after it buys it, it only just only monitors the area 1. So even if it gets any further signals while the position is still open, it's not going to do anything. All it cares is just the monitoring the PNL open for the current position. So that's the one thing that I want to mention. And then the other tip would be, if you go ahead and then download this software from this TurboTop, what this essentially does is it keeps the Nightshark UI on the foreground. So if you click outside, it's going to go in the background. So after you install that, you can find that application in this menu, and then you can just click on this Nightshark. And besides that, for this version, I'm going to be trading the Euro USD. Obviously, I'm on the virtual account, and I've enabled the auto send feature, and then I'll be trading the 20,000 position size. So we're going to go ahead and then let the Nightshark run, and let's see how it turns out. So I'm going to be turning off my camera and then let this run for a couple of hours. See you soon. So that was a little test run that I did to see if the script's going to work as intended or not. Obviously, it worked as intended. It was able to place those order on the right setup, and also able to exit the order based on the profits that we want to capture. So this video was just intended to be a basic walkthrough from idea generation to how you can actually test and validate your ideas using Nightshark. And if you have any questions, please comment down below, or you can also check out our website. We do have live chat support in there. Our team members will try their best to get back to you. Otherwise, we can also follow up on email with that. Yeah, I mean, we'll be posting more videos. And yes, thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.